Plan for the mega fight with you and Crawford for 150?
If we can make it at that weight division, I mean, whatever weight division I'm at, if wherever we still boxing at the same time, let's do it. I'm down to fight any one of these motherfuckers. I ain't here for the money. I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, the money already here, and I got it already, and it's gonna come. Mo gonna come, but why would I get in the ring over, an injury? You know what I'm saying?
Jermell Charlo has once again called out Terence Crawford after his recent win against Canelo Alvarez, but Crawford doesn't seem in any hurry or excitement for future opponents. He says he's focused only on the present, taking his career one fight at a time. Feeling great both physically and mentally and just enjoying the moment, he mentioned he's in excellent health and ready for whatever challenges come next without stressing over long-term plans.
If you were to not fight again, you'd be undefeated at 42-0. Would that satisfy you?
If that was the decision that I made, that my team made, for me to walk away, away from the sport, then of course I'll be, content and happy because that's the decision that I made. I'm not gonna make something, that I'm not comfortable with. I had a great career. I've done some tremendous things in the sport of boxing. I made a lot of history. What can I not be proud of if I walked away from the sport right now? I don't have no regrets because everything that I did it my way. So if I was to walk away from the sport right now, I wouldn't have no reason to hold my head down.
Crawford also said that if he retired undefeated at 42-0, he would be completely satisfied with his career, because he's already made history by becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes and proved everything he needed to prove. In the ring, he explained that when the time comes to retire, it will be a decision made together with his team and family, because he wants to leave the sport on his own terms, proud of everything he's accomplished rather than keep fighting without. Motivation for him walking away undefeated would mean ending his journey with peace, no regrets, and nothing left unfinished.
And for the mega fight with you and Crawford for 150?
If we can make it at that weight division, I mean, whatever weight division I'm at, if wherever we still boxing at the same time, let's do it. I'm down to fight any one of these motherfuckers. I ain't here for the money. I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, the money already here, and I got it already, and it's gonna come. Mo gonna come, but why would I get in the ring over, an injury? You know what I'm saying?
Jermell Charlo has recently called out Terence Crawford for a potential fight after Crawford's dominant win over Canelo. Alvarez saying it would be one of the biggest matchups. In boxing, Charlo believes both fighters are elite, and that a showdown between them would be a true test of skill power and strategy at the highest level.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
No, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. When you look
right not now, it's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 though. But when you look at these fights, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. Me personally, I believe in my skills and my abilities. I could be anybody.
David Benavidez has also shown interest in fighting Terence Crawford, and when asked about it, Crawford praised Benavidez, but admitted he's a huge fighter who might not even make 168 anymore, looking more like a natural one. 75-pounder, he said fans need to be realistic about the size difference, but made it clear he's confident in his skills against anyone. Crawford said no matter who stands across from him, he can always find a way to win through timing, ring IQ, and preparation, saying if they put someone in front of me, I'll find a way to beat them, showing the same calm confidence that has defined his entire career.
That would be even an embarrassment to me to say, David's too big for Crawford. And I always said that. Plus, you've seen Bo Mack also. They're not interested in David,
Can he still make 168? You seeing him now training at second fight at 175?
Yeah, I think he's super young still. I think definitely I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunities. And he only fought 2 fights at 175. After Anthony Yard, he'll be in shape. And, he has to work and watch his food and nutrition a little bit more. But, I think he could do 168. But, I could be wrong, But at the end of the day, we're here.
David's father and trainer, Jose Benavidez Sr., dismissed talk that his son David Benavidez is too big to fight. Terence Crawford calling those claims embarrassing and inaccurate, he explained that David only moved up to 175 for better opportunities, not because he couldn't make 168 anymore, and said his son could still return to super middleweight with discipline, strict nutrition, and focus. Jose also pointed out that Crawford's coach Brian Bomac McIntyre and his team don't seem interested in the fight right now, but made it clear that David is still young, hungry, and ready to take on anyone confident in his son's power and work ethic. He ended by saying at the end of the day, "We're scary, reminding everyone that Team Benavidez fears no challenge, not even a showdown with Terence Crawford."
You heard Bomac that he does not want Crawford to fight David Benavidez. So right now, I believe that we have a tough fight, man. November 22nd. I don't want to get ahead of my fight, and we're super focused 100% on getting to Riyadh and making that fight happen and keep proving ourselves and show the people who David is. Let's see what happens after that. Like I said, I will tell you though that it will be easy because, we'll be fighting. If everything goes well, we'll take a couple of weeks off, and the weight will not be a problem because we will already there, kind of. So, at the end of the day, it's, my job as a manager is to get them the best fights and train them as a trainer. And, we want to make history, brother. So, and if the people want that fight and people think that that's a good fight, and if Bomac and Terence Crawford want that fight, why not? We're here to please the fans and give them what they want.
In another interview, Jose Benavidez Sr. said that Crawford's coach, Brian Bomac McIntyre, isn't ready for that fight yet, explaining that their full focus right now is on David's upcoming November 22nd bout in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and that they'll talk about future plans only after that. He said their goal has always been to chase legacy fights and give fans the biggest events possible, adding that if Crawford's team is serious after their next match, they'd gladly take the fight because David lives for big challenges. He said fans want the best to fight the best, and we're ready, confidently promising they would never turn down a real opportunity.
I think David's too big for Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford will be like 38 years old, it will not be the same as Canelo, man. We know David comes in and throws a lot of punches and put the pressure. And no disrespect to Terence Crawford, he's the best pound for pound. He's in the books to do history. He did something that nobody could do. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the Mexican monster, David's young, strong, super big for Terence Crawford. Even Terence Crawford said that Kavalaskis or whatever hit harder than Canelo because the power's not there anymore. With David, it's a different story.
As Sr. explained why a Crawford versus Benavidez fight wouldn't be easy for Terence, saying his son is called the Mexican Monster for a reason. Because of his youth power and relentless work rate, he said David throws punches nonstop and never lets his opponent breathe, while giving full respect to Crawford as the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Jose warned that his son's strength and constant pressure could wear him down over time. He added that David is not like Canelo Alvarez. He's younger, hungrier, and always moving forward. Crawford is great, but David is a different kind of beast, he said, confidently believing his son's power and pace could turn the fight into a true war.
That's exactly what it is. It's like, all right, you jumped over one bridge, or you cleared one bridge. All right, let's see if you can clear. It's like the Knievel effect, right? All right, you jumped over 3 buses. Let's see if you can do 10 buses. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to test his limits, and he think the money is going to keep getting him out there. That fight is pointless. The fight is pointless because nobody ever talked about that fight until now. And then I don't feel like Bud needs a Benavidez. And then that would mean Benavidez would have to go into a different body and bring himself back down to 68 when he's already getting settled in at 175. And, I believe Benavidez has some tough tasks in front of him that he want to conquer before he even talking like that. I don't even think he want to talk like that because there's really no point. He wanted the Canelo fight because Canelo was And then at 68, he was at 68. I don't think he cared about fighting, and I don't think cared about fighting Benavidez.
Greg Hackett said the idea of Terence Crawford fighting David Benavidez feels like a stunt, comparing it to a daredevil constantly trying to outdo. His last jump just to prove a point, he described the matchup as forced and unnecessary, since it was never seriously discussed until recently. Hackett explained that Crawford has nothing to gain from fighting Benavidez, while David would have to completely reshape his body to move back down to 168 when he's already comfortable at 175. He added that Benavidez has his own challenges ahead and should stay focused there, pointing out that both fighters are in different phases of their careers and have no real reason to face each other.
Me out here, Kamaru. Terence Crawford versus the Mexican monster David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh
Canelo.
my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he was up because nobody wants to fight him.
That's a big dude. And to be honest, Terence Crawford's 37 years old.
It's about merit. Could I get to the generational talent, as he said, with Manny Pacquiao? He's an 8-division world champ.
If it ain't no big name, Terence, do what you do, bro.
Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo discussed the possibility of a Terence Crawford versus David Benavidez fight, with Usman calling Benavidez the Mexican monster, and Cejudo pointing out that he's no longer in Crawford's division. They mentioned that Benavidez was Canelo's mandatory and is feared because very few fighters want to face him. Usman added that Benavidez is massive compared to Crawford, who's already 37, while both praised Crawford as a generational talent even. Comparing him to Manny Pacquiao, they agreed the matchup is unrealistic because of the huge size difference and the different stages both fighters are at in their careers.
But at the same time, I mean, Benavidez is also the one guy that nobody's willing to fight. And if nobody's willing to fight him, that makes his valuable. And so the thing is that if you get the right guy that is willing to pay for that, and I mean that machine. I mean, I don't see him saying, okay, well, we can't afford to fight this guy. So I mean, that fight can happen if it's a fight that I think Bud want to entertain.
And what if you're Canelo? I think the only thing you could possibly want is that rematch to get that a little bit of that legacy back.
Trainer Jeff Mayweather shared his thoughts, saying David Benavidez is one of the most avoided fighters in boxing today. He explained that many fighters know how dangerous Benavidez is, and that's why most stay away unless the payday is big enough. Jeff said this avoidance only boosts David's value and reputation as a true threat in the sport. He added that if the money and timing line up right, a Crawford fight could definitely happen. Jeff also mentioned that if Canelo loses, the smartest move for him would be to chase a rematch with Crawford to rebuild his legacy and silence his critics.
Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
Promoter Eddie Hearn believes the best possible matchup in American boxing right now would be Terence Crawford versus Jaron Boots Ennis, calling it a true battle between generations, with Crawford representing experience and Ennis representing youth. He said it would take a massive payday to make it happen because Crawford knows exactly how dangerous Boots is, describing him as the new version of Crawford. Hearn said Ennis just needs the big fights to prove his greatness and emphasized that this fight would be explosive, but only if both men can agree financially and competitively at the right time.
Fight Crawford, is it still a fight that you have interest in?
My main focus right now is October 11th. That's all I'm worried about. October 11th. I ain't worried about no outsiders. I'm locked in. That's how when pay attention to what you got in front of you and you think ahead. That's how things happen. I'm main focus on October 11th. That's it.
That's it for today's video. So what do you think about this matchup? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our other videos showing up on the screen right now.